Okay. Third time's a charm. Third time I'm recording this video. First time, I didn't say everything I wanted to say. Second time, I recorded hot dog, not hamburger. It's now in hamburger mode. Also, I feel like I was as fluid as I was. Oh, alright, so, welcome to your guide on how not to move to a foreign country by yours truly. Ugh. Apologies. So, if most of you don't know, I'm currently studying in Italy on a student visa for a year. That's what the visa says. So, how to start my process of going to get my visa. I'll start with that. So, had to go to Boston, which is about where I'm studying in America. I study in New England, and had to get a bunch of my documents together. This, that, and the third. Had to go and get my consulate appointment, and then they gave me my visa. However, and this will come into the part of how not to move to a foreign country, especially with your visa documents, is I didn't have an apartment at the time I filed for my visa. Now, you're supposed to have an address that you put down on your application saying, hey, I have a place to go. I'm not going to be homeless when I arrive to your country, Mr. Consulate Man. And I did have an address. However, it's not the address I'd be living at. I will not say how I did this. It wasn't illegal. It wasn't a hotel, and it wasn't some random address that I put in, but I had an address that I'd stay at, and I did stay at this address. But, moving on, we'll get to that later. Moving on, I got my visa issued to me, and I hopped on a KLM flight from Atlanta to Amsterdam. Now, this part, like the flights, no problem. I absolutely love KLM. KLM is a great company. I love KLM. Their food won't kill you like Air France, and their people are very nice, unlike Air France. So I landed in Amsterdam, very tired, very hungry, so I said, hey, I'll go get something to eat. So I bought a sandwich, and what I thought was a Heineken. I wanted to try a Heineken from the source, Dutch beer in the Netherlands, sounds pretty good. Bought it from a very nice younger man who worked at the place. He was kind of a bro, honestly. Very cool dude. And I go and I sit down at my next gate. I have like another hour and a half to my flight, and I start eating, crack open the Heineken, I take a sip, go, this tastes interesting. And I look at the can, I go, it's a Heineken Zero. I was very disappointed. Not disappointed enough to go buy another one. I did not care at that point. I was very hungry, and I just wanted to eat my egg and bacon sandwich in peace. So I hop on my flight, and I make it to Florence. Now, I landed in Florence at about 5 p.m. Not terrible. Maybe it takes an hour for me to get my SIM card situated and figure out how to use the tram, because the tram, they had done something with the ticketing system since the last I had been, which was about three years ago. So get that all sorted out, and I finally make it to the train station. Now, I'm currently studying about 2 hours away, give or take maybe, in Perugia. But I wasn't going to make it to Perugia in time before, like midnight. Because of the way my backlight, because of the way my the train schedule worked out. And a friend of mine wanted me to stay over, have dinner, see him again, reconnect, and get to the train station. I go to the first ticket booth. The first is automated, kind of like a vending machine for tickets. If you've ever been to Europe, you know what I'm talking about. And I find the next train. And I just missed one, by the way. There was one at I think 6:30 or 7 that I had just missed. So I go, oh, well, I get one at 8. 8:20, I think it was. I'm sitting there, got my ticket, I'm happy. I look like a homeless dude because I got my giant duffel bag and my backpack for a year's worth of clothes and supplies. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the train schedule, the giant board that they have. And I'm sitting there, I go, I don't see my train. Oh no. I see times for after my train. Not on there. I pull up my phone, I look at the train app, the Train Eat app. That's what the app is called. And I look and I go, my train is canceled. And it's got a little flag next to it that says strike. Like, crap. So I started texting my buddy and another friend of mine. I go, hey man, my train got canceled. And they start to tell me, oh yeah, don't you know the trains are on strike today? I go, no, I did not know the trains were on strike today. Now, you might be wondering, why were the trains striking? What's the big deal? Maybe they're striking for, I don't know, the labor unions, improved laws, politics, better working conditions. You're wrong. You are very, very wrong. Just like in most of major metropolitan European cities, things are very, how shall we say, their political views are very open. I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible. You get the message when you walk around a major city. Even in Perugia. Turns out they were striking as a pro-Palestine protest. What does this have to do with the train schedules? What does this have to do with the train unions? Bro, I don't know. I just got here. So I buy another ticket. It's 8 p.m. now. That one gets canceled. Crap. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but I just had 2 trains get canceled. I'm right in the middle of the Italian train strikes. Pretty much anything after 8 o'clock p.m. is going to get canceled from what I've been told from some friends. It is currently about 8:26 local time. I think I'm cooked. Everything to Arezzo has been canceled. My next hope is a train at 10 o'clock. God willing, I can get that and be in Arezzo, but as of right now, I'm pretty much cooked. And I walk up to the lady at the counter who's taking tickets, almost like at a butcher. You get your number. She's taking numbers. And I finally get to my turn. I walk up after she gets berated by 2 older women for the trains being canceled. I felt really bad. But I walk up, I'm like, hey, 2 of my trains got canceled. What can I do? She's like, well, I can refund your ticket. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. And I ask her, I'm like, what are the chances of me getting a train tonight? She goes, well, the train strikes aren't supposed to be done till about midnight. I go, huh? Midnight? She goes, yeah, you're probably not getting a train tonight. I go, okay, that's pretty cool. So I eventually downloaded Uber for the first time, connected my card, and got a driver. And went to go stand outside, getting side-eyed by the police because I look like a homeless guy chilling outside the train station. Get my driver. We put my luggage in the back of the car. He's driving a Tesla, by the way, which is very interesting. I'd never seen a Tesla in Italy in the last 2 times I'd been. So we get in, and we start driving. It's about a little more than an hour away. And I start chatting him up a little bit. I'm like, so you've been a cab driver long? He says, yeah, I've been a cab driver for about 15 years, or 11, something like that. I go, oh, wow. And you must get paid pretty good. He goes, yeah, I make enough for my wife and 2 children. I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. Like, how does the cab system work? Is this your car? Like, do you get to choose your car? And he goes, yeah, this is my car. I bought this car, and I work with the cab company. I'm like, okay, cool. And he explains it. He goes, yeah, actually, cab drivers have to pay for their own cab license. It's like a big thing, apparently. He said he paid about 120,000 euro just for this license. And he's a full-time cab driver. I'm like, oh, man, that's my backlight. I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. And he's talking about it. We start talking a little bit. Told me about this time when he was in university, how he went to Miami to go visit these rich girls, and they kind of got kicked out, him and his Italian friends, because these rich girls' fathers thought that they were no good. He goes, yeah, I was young. It was a crazy time. We had a lot of fun, though. And I started talking more about like what's going on in Italy, like political-wise. And he's like, oh, well, mostly in the news we have the Ukraine war and the Gaza war. I'm like, yeah, makes sense. You guys are a little closer. What else? I started talking to him about other things, like how he thinks the Italian political system is. And he says the big problem they have right now is a strong judicial system. So a lot of times how he explained is that the courts will pass down a ruling that is often just pretty much going against the Constitution or any laws, and the courts could just decide whatever they want. Which, if you're an American, you kind of get that with the lax on crime DAs and judges. So there's that. We also hit the big button issue, the big topic that's been going on in Europe for a while now, and that's mass migration. He was very open about talking about it, actually. I feel like he, really gave me a fair and neutral point, very blunt. He said, you get a lot of these migrants who come here legally or illegally, and they tend to break the law with no repercussions. Just like in America, we have lax judges who will just mostly let them off with a slap on the wrist. And he says he's seen many times, especially on his cab, where he'll be helping passengers put luggage into the trunk, and migrants will come and ransack his car, just take everything. And the cops, who will see it sometimes, will do absolutely nothing. Now, that being said, that's mainly a problem in bigger European cities like Florence. We had a good chat about that. Very, very cool guy to talk to. He was very nice. And I eventually get to my friend's place, stay the night. Very great time. I had a lot of fun with him. It was great. He's an old friend. I hadn't seen in a long time, about 3 years. So it was good to see him again. I got to see his family. His little brother grew up quite a bit. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So next day, I leave his house, and I have to change trains at the city he goes to school. So he leaves me at the train station. I get my ticket. I'm waiting there for about an hour and a half. I'm once again a homeless guy in a train station. I'm getting mad weird looks. But almost to Perugia. It's like the train rush for all the schools, so all the students are getting off. I'm sitting here on my bags like a homeless vet. Yeah. I'm in Arezzo right now, halfway there. And the cops are there. Now, nothing bad happened, but they just sit around and like to ID people from what I saw. And of course, a homeless guy with his life's belongings on him, sitting there looking like a bozo. Cops walk up. They nailed me immediately. They say, "Passport, please." I go, "Oh, crap. Do I really look that American?" And yes, because my buddy's friend had called me a cowboy, so I really do look that American. If you know me, I pretty much only wear cowboy boots. So, gave my passport, they scanned it, no problem. They go away and start harassing other kids. Which was funny to see because a lot of the kids there, I was sitting at the train station where the student rush was really happening. So you get students from all around who go into the city to go to school, and a lot of them, especially younger girls, from what I see, will stand outside the train station and smoke cigarettes. Like, I'm talking as young as 15, or at least they looked 15. I don't know. You can't really tell these days. But I saw at least, I don't know, 6 girls walk up to the tobacco counter and purchase cigarettes or vape or something of the other. Mainly cigarettes. Very, very interesting to see. If you've been to Europe as an American, you will know the smoking culture here is it's something else. You better get used to the smell of cigarettes. That's all I can say. So eventually I get on my train, I leave, and voila, I'm in Perugia. After all that, the train strikes, the 48 hours of constant travel with barely any sleep, I made it. I go and I check into my hotel. Everything's fine. I'll probably put a video here of the hotel tour. It wasn't anything special. A lot of my breakfast was either from the cafe at the train station or the vending machine across from the train station. I had the hotel for 3 days, so stayed there for the 3 days while I worked out my apartment. Now, how I got this place. So, my other big tip is to have your place of residency, your domicile, already set up before you get here so you have no problems. Is this table crooked? Oh my god. This tabletop is not... This tabletop moves. Huh. Yeah, so I didn't have my apartment set up. So I've been in contact with a real estate agency for a little bit. And I go to them and I'm like, hey, I'm here for the meeting. They're like, okay, cool. You're here for this apartment, yeah? I go, yeah, I'm here for this one. They go, womp womp. That one's not available. I'm like, bummers. But we have a different one available. I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, you want to go see it? I'm like, yeah. So I walk over to this place. The other guy shows me around. It's all nice. It's pretty cool. And I just need a place. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm like, I was kind of trying to nudge the lady, be like, I'll take whatever you have right now. So, yep. Now, in order for the condominium stuff to be billed in my name, I actually have to have my fiscal code or my tax code. Kind of like a zip code, but it's personalized. So you have your own personalized tax identification. Now, I didn't have one. I thought I did. But the lady was like, no, you actually have to go to the office and get it. You can't get it online. I'm like, bummers. So I got it all set up. She was like, it's no problem. You have an appointment. It'll be cool. Just send me your tax code when you get it. I'm like, all right, cool. And bang. In 3 days, I got given the keys. All the paperwork's done, signed. It's great. Now I'm here. And I'm living in Italy, which is still very surreal. And, it doesn't feel like I'm living in Italy now for the next year, but hey-ho. So I guess now is the time for the apartment tour. So first we have the front door. Let me get behind the camera. So as you can see here, Italian locks are very different. On the other side of this door, no door handle. In order to open it, you have to stick your key in and twist it all the way until the lock comes undone, and then you push the door open. Very strange. Italian light switches, these are pretty much the same anywhere. Walk in, bang. Bathroom to my left. Boom, flick the light, got the mirror, sink, your toilet. Toilet looks a bit odd now, doesn't it? Where do you? Don't mind the lid. It's crooked. But where do you flush? You flush with this. This is one big lever. You push to flush, and you push up there to stop. I don't know why you can't just have a lever, like a switch on the side, but whatever. Toilet paper. Standard European box shower because, why not? Wash. Oh, I guess I'll show you inside the shower. It's nothing special, It's just a shower. But the main attraction, and the main hatred I have for Europe, this. Now, when I first came to Europe it's got to be like 6 years ago now, good Lord, before COVID, as a wee little freshman in high school, I had no idea what this was. And I thought you'd washed your feet with it, maybe washed your hair, I don't know, some sort of wash basin. That's semi-accurate. Now, I asked my host student at the time, I'm like, hey, what is this? And she starts laughing. She goes, you know what that is? I'm like, no, we don't have these in America. She goes, this is a bidet. Now, continental Europe doesn't really like toilet paper like, the Brits do or we do. They use this instead. I have no idea how you're supposed to use it, and I will never try. Moving on. These are Italian light sockets, by the way. They have like a two-prong. Very, very odd. Moving on over. This is like a true studio apartment. There's no wall to the ceiling. These are just bookcases. We have the bed. Now, I don't have sheets yet. I did find a store with sheets. I'm just lazy. I haven't bought them. I haven't found a pillow either. I can't find a pillow. No store around me sells pillows. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. These are the Italian wall plugs. And we also have the dressers. A lot of storage, more than I'll ever need. We also still use radiators here because Europe is still kind of old school. Nice little table, Got the computer set up. Trash, more storage. And the magical kitchen. This is where the magic happens. Now, we have all the amenities you'll ever need. Except the dishwasher, no dishwasher. Now, refrigerator. Ah, look at that. Very tiny. But, I'm just a dude. I don't really need that much. Did some grocery shopping, got some stuff. Pots, pans, little oven, gas stove, thank God, gas stove. Now, no dishwasher, okay? Just your sink. But they have this neat little drying rack up here. Stick your wet dishes in there, and the water collects on this little sheet right here. Very nice. Then you have the balcony. I suppose I'll open the balcony again. I don't feel like opening it all the way. But this is my view. This is where you dry or wash all your laundry. Yeah, nice little balcony. You kind of get a view over there. This is for utilities and stuff. A little storage. Back into the hobbit hole. Also, Europe does not believe in carpeting. Every home I've been to, has tile floors. But yeah, that about does it. I'm trying to make a video here, man. Motorcycles are crazy here. But yeah, no, that's about it. Trying to think. Oh, people want to a lot of people want to know like the day-to-day stuff, like what's different about Europe, besides being able to mostly walk to places, except if you live on like the city outskirts. Minor things that I've noticed. Water bottles. I don't remember this being a thing last time I was here, but you take the cap off, and the cap doesn't come off. Now, I kind of broke this because it was very annoying, but it's got this kind of hinge, and it just stays there. And it gets in your face when you try to drink. You kind of have to like hold it. If you use two hands, you can't just, whatever. I personally hate it, but it's supposed to cut down on plastic or whatever. So, milk comes in boxes. We're not as weird as Canada where it comes in a bag, but it's in a box. Now, just from this milk, from what I've tasted, it has a very interesting taste. If you've ever had raw milk or unpasteurized milk, it kind of tastes like a mix between that and supermarket whole milk, which I quite enjoy. It tastes a lot less processed. It tastes like it's got a milkier taste. Also, milk and eggs, they're not refrigerated. You just buy the eggs in the aisle next to like flour. Same for milk. I, a good God-fearing American, have refrigerated my milk and eggs. But yeah, I guess that just about does it. Let me know what kind of content you guys want me to make. If you guys want me to do like travel stuff, I do plan on going different places in Italy. I want to go to Sicily eventually, but I plan on going outside Italy too. Maybe I'll go visit Switzerland or Liechtenstein, because how many people say they've been to Liechtenstein? Probably Austria. Austria would be nice. Maybe Germany. I don't really care as much for France. That's just me being American. I do want to go see the UK. Britain would be pretty cool. I don't know. If I can get to other places, I'll see, but I don't know. I do plan on... Well, I did want to make a gaming playthrough. I haven't played the first Half-Life yet, and I was trying to save it for maybe a video series. Who knows? But yeah, that just about does it for me. How not to move to a foreign country. Avoid my pitfalls. It worked out for me. I cannot guarantee the same for you, should you choose to live in a foreign country for either a finite or indefinite period of time. But yeah, that just about does it. See ya.